settings, or you can switch into live view mode. To switch into live view mode, push this lever here next to the mode dial. You'll hear the mirror pop up, and then you can see through the lens here. This is useful if you're holding the camera out in front of you. So if you're shooting like this, or if you're using a tilty display to hold it over your head or down low to the ground, live view mode is useful. However, I recommend using the viewfinder most of the time. When you use the viewfinder, the camera focuses faster. I also find that the viewfinder is more of an immersive experience because it helps to block out the world around you and allow you to really focus on what you're seeing in the composition. Nonetheless, if you're part of the generation that grew up taking pictures with your camera phone, you might be more comfortable with live view mode. Live view mode will allow you to select focusing points anywhere in the frame, and that's really nice. But like I said before, it will focus very slowly, and that can be kind of frustrating. So now I'll talk about the lens controls. The D5300 kit comes with one of two different lenses depending on the kit you buy. The lens I have attached currently is the more expensive of the two lenses. It's the 18 to 140, and you can see it has pretty typical controls. The big dial here is the zoom control. So this zooms in, so it seems like you're closer to your subject, and that zooms all the way back so that you can take in an entire building, for example, or capture the people that are sitting right across from you at the table. So far away subject, close up subject. And in chapter 2 of Studying Digital Photography, you'll use the smaller dial here. On this particular lens, it's closer to you. That will prevent the camera from trying to focus, but it's not necessary to manual focus. You can always leave your camera here in autofocus and just take over manual focus if for some reason it fails, or if it doesn't focus on what you wanted it to focus on. There's one more switch on this lens, and it's the VR, the vibration reduction. Other camera manufacturers call this different things: vibration control, optical image stabilization, or just image stabilization. It's all the same thing. When you have VR on, it will help cancel out the shakiness of your hands. And we all have hands that are a little bit shaky, and it can lead to blurry pictures if your shutter speed is slow. I'll cover more information about that in chapter 4, but for the time being, just leave VR turned on. You almost never need to turn it off. Now, I'll look at I have a D5300 over here that has the other kit lens option. This lens is almost identical, but it has one important trick to it. Before you can take a picture, you have to push this button in and turn it over to the 18 marking there. This extends the lens a little bit so that you can take pictures. Once you get it opened up, the same dial acts as the zoom. I think that's such a cool feature because it reduces the size of the lens when you're carrying it around. I actually love this little lens just for how compact it is. Once you have it extended, you can manually focus by turning the ring here. However, on this lens, if you want to manually focus, you'll have to switch the switch from A to M there. So now that I've switched it, now I can manually focus. As you're trying to autofocus and something fails and you decide you want to manually focus, just remember you have to flip that switch first, and then you can grab the focusing ring. Don't turn it too hard when it's in autofocus or you might break something, but it resists enough that unless you're really brute forcing it, it shouldn't be an issue. This lens also has vibration reduction. It's kind of a standard thing among kit lenses. There's one more important physical control that I want to cover, and that's the diopter. The diopter is this little plus and minus thing here on the viewfinder, and if you look through the lens and everything seems blurry, when the camera thinks it's in focus, then your diopter is probably off. Just give that a twist. What the diopter does is it's just like wearing glasses or putting on reading glasses. And in fact, it is for people who wear glasses. If you wear glasses and you want to take your glasses off and look through the viewfinder, focus on something, and then adjust the diopter until it's sharp. If the diopter is off, if it's set to the wrong marker, then as you look through the viewfinder, everything will be blurry when the camera thinks it's in focus, and that can be very, very confusing. So if it seems like your camera isn't focusing, move that diopter until things get sharp. But otherwise, don't mess with it, right? Because sometimes people try to make an adjustment and they screw it up. If you have good vision, or if you're wearing contacts or glasses and you just keep them on when you're taking a picture, just don't mess with the diopter, just leave it there. I only tell you about it because it sometimes gets accidentally turned. If you want to take a video, the first thing you need to do is to turn on live view mode. So I'll flip my screen back around here. I love the articulating screens because you can protect the screen when you're traveling. I don't flip it around when I'm just carrying it. I keep it exposed, but if I'm throwing it in a bag or something, I'll hide the display away. Turn on live view mode by pushing this dial here. And once live view mode is on, then you can push the record button right here next to the shutter button. And now you're making a video. Now you can push the shutter button halfway to focus during the video. It's not gonna look great. because it's not a proper camcorder. You won't have that like smooth focusing that you'll get with a proper camcorder. It'll also be slow enough that you're not going to be tracking sports. You know, you can't expect to capture your kid running from first base to second base if you're zoomed in tight with this kind of focusing system. You need a more proper video camera for that. But nonetheless, it's a great video camera for things like your kids' school play, or even for short professional films. It's a very capable camera. Just be aware that the focusing is a little slow when video is recording. After you take a few pictures, you'll no doubt want to review them. Maybe you're just showing them off. This is pretty easy. Just make sure you can see the display that is flipped around, and then hit the play button right here above the directional controls. The videos or pictures you've taken will appear, and you can scroll through them either by pushing the directional control here or by moving the main dial here. This just flips through all the pictures that you have. There's a lot more that you can do once you're starting to review pictures. You can push this little magnifying glass button here to zoom in, and this is really useful. You can zoom all the way in and then pan around the picture to make sure that your focus is sharp. I can see here that the camera focused on Justin's camera instead of his eyes. So seeing that, I would know that I should retake the picture because this one turned out a little bit blurry. I often go in and review and zoom into pictures to make sure that they came out sharp so that I can retake them before the moment is completely lost. If you zoom out far enough, by pushing the lower button here with the negative sign in the magnifying glass, you'll see thumbnails. And thumbnails can make it more easy to find the specific picture that you're looking for. Keep pressing it to zoom farther back. If you decide that you want to delete a picture, just hit that delete button. Of course, I wouldn't want to delete Justin's fine picture there, but a little trash can there pops up, and then just hit it twice to delete the picture. So now I'll walk you through the various camera functions that you need to understand to begin to work through the book Stunning Digital Photography. The first, of course, is to set the date and time on your camera. That doesn't seem like a big deal, right? But once you start to organize your pictures, having the date and time set correctly